evening, everybody. Good evening. It is Thursday. My apologies. Y'all give me a little sec. I'm going to share here. I need to do a little bit of sharing and we're going to be good to go. We're going to get started. All right. What's up, everybody? Good evening. Welcome in. Again, it is Thursday. You know what we do on Thursdays? We're here together on Thursdays. Welcome to the Real Life Relationship Growth Platform. Welcome in. I hope you guys had a good day. I hope you guys had a good week. One more day for those of us who shut it down on Fridays. So hope everything is going well for you. So welcome. I'm Donna. I'm the creator of the Real Life Relationship Growth Platform. Here is the place for adults to come and talk and chat and play and laugh and cry, all of that stuff. Um, so at the Real Life Relationship Growth family, when you're a part of the family, once coming in the room, always in the room, you will always be a part of the family. All right. So this is the criteria though for you to be here, family. This is the criteria. You can raise your hand, put up a finger or whatever. When I get to you, you can do that, okay? Because I guarantee everybody, at least everyone, the age of 21 and over, everybody's going to fall in somewhere and get where this is and get where you fall in, where you are in line, right? So this is criteria. You have to be single, dating, courting, married, divorced, or widower. That is the criteria for you to be a part of this family. Again, if you're 21 and older, we may have some 18-year-olds that fall in there and they could talk a little bit. But if you're 21 and older, more than likely, you fall into one of those categories. All right. So that means this is the place for you. This is the place for you. So let me say this as always, I am not a relationship expert. I am not. I'm just a black woman in this world, living this life, doing the damn thing, and enjoying myself in the process. That is who I am. There have been experiences in life that I have had that can help someone else, and there are experiences that someone else has had that can help me or someone else or each other. That's why we're here. We're here to grow and build with one another healthy relationships, healthy relationships. And as y'all know, as usual, um, I always have some people that I love and care for and friendship and all of that good stuff with me coming sitting on the couch, figuratively, but they're joining me. Um, Always have to come first this direction because this young lady right here, we met years ago, we connected, we reconnected, and it's tight. It's tight. My girl, Miss Corey B. Hey,
Hey,
sis.
hey.
Mm-hmm.
Mm,
I'm a look. I'm gonna tell on you. I'm gonna tell on you.
what
You
happened?
ready? Wait, you ready? Wait, we got
I'm
to do
ready.
this first. You
I'm
ready?
ready.
All right, here we go. Ooh,
Ooh, ladies
ladies
first.
first.
Ladies first.
Ladies first.
It's the internet will not allow us to sync perfectly.
Yeah. It's not, but you know they get it. They get it because
Of
they know
course.
ladies first. They
Of
know it.
course.
They know it. Yeah, I'm gonna tell on you though, Corey,
So,
because I see you didn't text in the group where you were. You didn't put it in the
oh, I
group.
forgot.
You
I
forgot?
forgot. I really
Okay.
forgot to put it in the group.
So
I
it's
really did.
it's not a secret though, right?
Oh, absolutely not.
Oh,
Absolutely
okay.
not.
Okay. All right. So
Absolutely not.
we gonna put it in the group. We're not just gonna put it in the group, but we're gonna say Corey is up the street, y'all. She's in the
I'm
ATL.
here. I'm
She
here.
is
It's quiet.
here.
Everything I thought about Atlanta must be wrong, except the traffic. Real life.
Okay. Okay.
Real life.
How long you gonna be here, babe?
I don't know. Maybe Saturday, maybe Sunday. I don't know. Maybe I
Do
feel like I go
Sunday,
to work
cause do Sunday, cause we got
Sunday.
something to do Saturday. We got something to do Saturday. I tell
Oh,
you about it.
okay.
I'll tell you about
Okay. Okay.
it. All right. All right. And let me cuz y'all know how it is here. We want to be balanced out as much as possible because this is not just an all female thought process even though ladies first, we come on and
Mhm.
we but this is not just about what the ladies feel and what the ladies think. We always have to have a balance of power. I like that. A
Mhm.
balance of power, a balance of power, which means we need the brothers because as women, we can't speak for y'all. We cannot speak for y'all. So we need the brothers. So when we step into this realm, we always want to step right. We want to choose people that have that moral fortitude and they're grounded and good people. These are good brothers, good men. So let me bring them on. I'm just gonna boom and boom. All
Hey
right.
Donna, hey Corey, hey Josh.
Hey Tony. Hey Josh.
Mm.
All right. So these are not new faces to the family, but they may be new faces to you all. So we're just gonna take a second and do a little introduction. Y'all give us a quick snippet of who you are and what you represent, Tony.
So I represent the marriage redeveloper. I'm a life coach, and I'm married to a wonderful, beautiful, amazing queen. However, I've been divorced not once, but twice.
Mm-hmm.
So I have failed. I have failed at relationships and marriage, but God has me on the right track now, and I'm doing really good and living well. So thank you for
Love it.
having me.
Love it. You're welcome. Always, always, Tony. Mr. Josh.
Hey everybody, I'm Josh Presley. Um, just Atlanta native, born, raised, and bred. I've known Donna for quite some time. I've had many relationships, of course, because I mean, if you're somebody that's dated and didn't get married until you were 40, almost 40 years old, you did a lot of dating. So I have a lot of experience with that, just a lot of life experience in general. So just
Okay.
thankful for the opportunity to kind of express some of that hopeful wisdom that I feel like I have.
Mm-hmm.
And you
Mm-hmm.
take it all with a grain of salt.
Yeah. Yeah. Because that's what we're here for. That's what we're here for. There are times that we have professionals in different fields um, join, depending on our topic of discussion. And y'all hear me say at the beginning, I'm not a relationship expert, but I am a professional. I'm a professional. We are all professionals in our field of life and our experiences. And I love how Tony said, because I too have been divorced several times. But I love how Tony said, he knew how to do it wrong, and doing it wrong can put you on the track and the path of getting it right. If that is your direction and your
Yes,
goal. So
yes,
we all at some point have done it wrong, something. We all. Um, but getting it right is what we strive in our goal. In our goal. I gotta say what's up to my sister Claudette in the chat. Um and oh, Clyde, what's up, Clyde? Clyde is one of my brat brothers from back in the day in Mannheim, Germany. Hey, Clyde. Wow. And Myra was on with us last week, you all. So
yes,
Myra's in the chat. She wasn't available to come on with us tonight, but she's in the chat and I know she's going to give us some great tidbits. Great tidbits. Also, Facebook family, if you could, I put the link to the YouTube channel in the chat. If you could go over to YouTube, join us over at YouTube because sometimes Facebook acts a little fickle for us. So if you could join us over at YouTube, and while you're there, if you have not yet subscribed, can you go ahead and do that too? Can you go ahead and do that too? Appreciate you all. Okay. Yeah, we got a little feedback. We're gonna get it together. Corey, I see. Okay. All right, y'all. So, we're gonna get going with our topic tonight. I don't know if many of you saw it. I literally posted it this morning. My apologies, but the fact that y'all know we're gonna be on every Thursday, just come and take a seat and just hold on because you never know what you might get. But tonight, our topic tonight, this is the title for our topic. Mm-mm-mm. Sexual abstinence education. Benefit or detriment? Benefit or detriment? Sexual abstinence, benefit or detriment? All right. So, um, Tony actually shared a video with me. She shared a video with me about a week or two ago, and we agreed wholeheartedly that we need to do this and we need to have this discussion. And then, of course, I shared it over to Josh and shared it over to Corey and shared it with Myra, um, and the other crew, our gentleman from the Husband Show podcast, and our friend Mark from Date Night um, Live. So we are here, those who can make it tonight, to discuss this topic. We're gonna get into this topic. But Tony, let me ask you. I have to ask you, Tony. Um, when you saw that video, do I need to play a clip? Do y'all think I should play the clip first,
Yeah.
or all right? Let's play the
Yeah,
clip.
go ahead.
Yeah, let me play the clip just real quick. Boom, boom, boom. Let me. Here we go.
And here's the harm with shame based abstinence only doctrine. Even after the wedding, the damage still lingers. It creates guilt and disconnection and emotional distance in relationships that are supposed to be grounded in intimacy and trust.
Okay, that was real quick. Y'all want me to play it again? I'm gonna play it again real quick because it was quick. I know people were getting ready to listen and then it ended, but it's real quick and to the point. So I'm gonna play it one more time.
And here's the harm with shame based abstinence only doctrine. Even after the wedding, the damage still lingers. It creates guilt and disconnection and emotional distance in relationships that are supposed to be grounded in intimacy and trust.
Relationships that are supposed to be grounded in intimacy and trust. So let's walk that backwards a little bit. From those relationships that are supposed to be grounded in intimacy and trust. Tony, what kind of resonated with you when you saw the video and you shared it?
So I actually went through, before I married Paula, my wife, both of us decided that we were going to abstain because for various reasons, for different reasons, but the timing was perfect. When I met Paula, she had made a decision. I had already made the decision. And so we both agreed. So there wasn't one of us agreed and the other didn't. And there was a struggle. Now it was difficult. It wasn't easy, but I think we're better off. We're better off, but
Okay.
it worked for us. It may not
Okay.
work for everybody.
Yeah. Yeah. So one thing I want to say before we continue the conversation, I want everybody to know that there is no judgment here.
Right.
There is no judgment here. Whatever decisions you have made for yourself as an adult, is your decision, and you made that because you felt like that was the best for you. So there is no judgment. There is no judgment. All right. All right. Corey,
Yes.
you good? I think you have a little feedback. That's what's happening.
No, I turned it off just in case because I heard some earlier and I don't think it was me, but I just wanted to be sure.
Okay. All right. Appreciate it. All right,
Mhm.
appreciate it. Okay. So we were chatting a little bit before we got started about sexual abstinence. Sexual abstinence. And with the video, the little clip of the video that was played. What's your thought?
Oh, for me. Sorry.
Mhm.
Um, I'm with her. I think she's right.
Mhm.
I don't know what else to say.
Okay, okay, okay. Well, I'm sorry. I should have been a little bit more specific. I'm sorry. The term shame based, and Myra put that in the chat as a question mark, like shamed based.
Mhm.
What are we thinking? Anybody can take this one. When we talking shame based, what is? Let's give a little definition, a little understanding to that.
So it's attempting to use shame
Mm-hmm.
to persuade a person to move in a certain direction. So kind of the same way people say, the way people use revelations to scare people into becoming Christians.
Mm.
I guess if
Mm-hmm.
that's comparative, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Um, yeah, I think that's what shame-based is. That's what she's talking
Okay.
about here.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it
Trying to
doesn't
put.
really answer any questions. It doesn't give any insight. It doesn't, it's just, if you do this, you know, it's gonna fall off when you're peeing. If you kiss, you're gonna get knocked up. It's
Yeah.
our attempt to try to get you not to do something,
But
and scare you into.
yeah. But I'm glad I like how you added that. But it doesn't give you any real information.
Mm-mm.
It just puts you out there with this thought, but it doesn't give you any real information.
Yeah.
Mhm. She said that doesn't sound anything. That doesn't sound like anything that will have a positive outcome. I'm
Mhm.
glad you said that, Myra. Anything that would give a positive outcome, because when you hear the word shame, that's already off the rip, not something positive.
Right.
No.
Not something positive.
And what about the
Right.
people who aren't afraid of anything? And they're like, let me try and see what happens.
Yeah. Yep. Yep.
Those who are testing, the testing theory.
Like that child you tell don't touch that outlet,
And they touch it. You're like,
and
hey.
they looking at you like this. Let me see
Let me
what's
find
gonna
out for
happen.
myself. Let me find out for myself.
Hmm.
Yep, let me find out for myself. Let me find out. So Josh, the little clip of the video, what were your thoughts on the topic
Um,
as a whole?
I think the topic as a whole is dealing with, how the abstinence, the idea of abstinence education alone, how it leaves so much for you to have to figure out after you've crossed that line, right? And it kind
Mhm.
of forces you, it pigeonholes you into this ideology that this is the only way that this can be done. Now, is that the way it should be done? Probably, but it's not the only way that it can be done. And let's be honest. How many of us had sex before we got married? I'm gonna put my hand up. I had sex before I got married. So,
Shame.
I know,
Shame.
shame, right. So I didn't get married until I was 39. So, and I had sex long time before 39. Just going to keep this 100%
Yeah,
honest, right?
we
So
real. Yes.
so what you do with abstinence is that you're saying that from birth till 39, we're gonna take me from birth till 39. I should not have done anything sexual, period. Like, period. If we're gonna talk about full-on abstinence, that means no oral sex, that means no nothing, no nothing. I shouldn't have had any form, no masturbation, nothing. We're doing no sex because that's abstinence. And a lot of people like to play games with this word
Mhm.
abstinence. They like to fiddle with it because I've had conversation with women and they're like, well, that's yeah. So anyway, I ain't gonna go there because we're just gonna stay on the subject of abstinence
Oh, we
education.
coming there,
I got a
Joshua.
question. I want
But
to.
my
Yeah, we
Yeah.
my
coming there,
point is
Joshua.
that you create this shame-based perception that if you cross this line, that's the end of your relationship with God. When you should say, okay, well, what if I cross this line? What happens next? How do I
Mhm.
protect myself? Number one, how do I first of all, what is sex? Because we all know that sex in the right situations is a wonderful, beautiful thing, right? It
Yeah,
Right.
is
man,
wonderful, beautiful
awesome,
thing. It produced
Amazing.
everybody on the planet.
amazing.
So it can't be bad, but the way that we make it appear is as if it is this detrimental thing unless it happens within marriage. Now, should it
Right.
happen within marriage? Yes, it absolutely should. But we need to have a broader conversation so that people can so that children that are growing into adulthood who have urges, who are dealing with how their body is changing and becoming, because really the abstinence education part is really for children becoming adults. Us
Right.
adults, we've already moved past, we are matured, we understand these things. So like later in life, if you got married and you decided on abstinence, you already explored what sex is and how sex operates. But what
Mhm.
abstinence education is, it's for people who have not explored what sex offers and how it operates. So that's the reason why I say that it is not a good framework, because I don't think it's 100% honest.
Mhm.
I said a
Mhm.
lot, but my last statement is it is not a good framework for children because it's not 100% honest about
Yeah.
what is coming.
Right. Right.
Okay, so
And
well, what about adults? So we're all adults,
Yeah.
and what does that mean? That mean
So
like
as an adult,
some people are positive. Some people will say that works for me. It
yeah.
works for me. It works for me. Uh, when I started dating again after my second divorce, I ran into a lot of women that basically decided, you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to recommit myself, and I'm going to abstain. So when I put that on my dating app, that there's no sex outside of marriage, I got bombarded with
Mm.
ladies because in their mind they said the pressure is off.
and I
I get
agree.
to date you, I get to know you, and I don't have the pressure of you trying to get in my pants.
That's a wonderful thing. But what I'm talking about is from an education standpoint. I'm not disagreeing with us wonderful consenting adults, because you're consenting to abstinence on your own terms and they're consenting to abstinence on their terms, and presenting that to each other, communicating that to each other at the beginning creates less pressure because you both
Mhm.
have a clear understanding of the starting point, framework, and infrastructure of your relationship at the beginning. And once you decide to change it, that's something that you can work through. But that is maturity, right? Because
Right.
you and that person, y'all have a certain level of maturity. So y'all have a clear picture on how y'all want to communicate where you are and what you expect. And I think
Mhm.
that we have to, when we're educating children becoming adults, we need to educate them so that they have a comprehensive understanding, so that they can have those conversations about, I want to be abstinent because I don't want to be exposed to certain things, but understanding what those certain things are that come along with this thing called sexual intercourse and sexual intimacy, and how you open yourself up to all of these different things, but having a clearer picture, because sometimes it's very narrow how we
Mhm.
frame sex.
Mhm.
Like you're only going to get pregnant or you're only going to catch disease. Like there are a lot of different pressures that are associated with sex, but I would rather give you all of the information than to only give you part of the information. And then later on in life, when you run into somebody else, you feel like you relied to by your church and by those people that you trusted. And
Yeah.
that's kind of where I go with the abstinence only education, because I don't want to lie to you.
Yeah. Yeah. So let's kind of walk from that just for a second into the until adulthood, into the part of where we are as adults in this conversation, because like you said, I totally agree with children, young teens. I have a 16-year-old in my house. My son is 32, my daughter's 28. We've gone through these discussions as many of you have, um, and teaching them certain things from there prepares them for where we are now.
Right.
As adults, I grew up in what we called an open household. And
Mm,
when we say open household, that means my mom talked to us expressly about sex. She told us the importance of holding on and not having sex, and why it was important not to. She also told us the joys and the pleasures that it brings in the right compounds, right? Right? In the right way. And I want to say this, this is not necessarily, you all, a Christian based aspect. It's not. There are people who aren't Christians that believe in abstinence, right?
Right.
So the video that we watched in its entirety, she was coming from that perspective. And I appreciate that. And we pulled from that video what could, what could be a good discussion for us adults. So Joshua, I appreciate that. I agree with you. I think we all agree with you wholeheartedly on the educational side of it. Because truth be told, there's still some adults being educated. There are still some adults being educated. But when we come from the shame side and the lack of knowledge, the lack of knowledge kills anything. It kills anything. So let's imagine two adults coming to the level of wanting or talking, dating one another, right? And talking about marriage and going through courtship and talking about marriage. Yet they have this thought process that any talking about it, anything they're dealing with is dirty, is wrong, there's a problem. And you have this image of as a woman, what this is supposed to look like, how you supposed to be for your man, but you're stuck. So from a dating aspect, going into a marriage process, right? Going into the marriage process, there are different views and different avenues of how people look at this and how people move with this. And I appreciate Tony sharing about he and Paul are making that decision um to not for different reasons. So can we talk about, regardless of what your belief factor is, can we talk about some of the things that are beneficial from abstaining in dating
Can
as adults?
I just want to jump in? Can we take the marriage part out and
Okay.
just say, if you're looking for an exclusive, if you want an exclusive relationship, okay,
Mm-hmm.
then abstinence might apply. What would be the benefits?
Yeah,
Because
I like that.
that not everybody wants to be married,
I
right?
like that. Yeah. 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 Okay.
So from my
Okay.
perspective, just if you're dealing with abstinence, like you can be in an exclusive relationship with abstinence that focuses on intimacy that does not require the sexual aspect, right? That can happen, and a lot of people do pursue those type of relationships. And it doesn't have to have anything to do with marriage. I mean, yeah, doesn't have to have anything to do with marriage. It can be that you don't want the pressure of sex involved in a relationship with someone, and you want to learn who they are without having that be something that is on the back burner or adding an extra element of stress to the relationship. Are you
Mm,
compatible in every other way? Are you compatible socioeconomically? Are you compatible financially? Are you compatible? Do you even like the same things? Because a lot of times sex can cloud your judgment when it comes to your interaction with people that you date. It adds a whole nother element
it
to
does.
the mix, and
Yeah.
especially if it's had too early.
Mm-hmm.
So, next thing you know, you done latched onto somebody, and you're like, later on, once you realize, like, why did I do that? And it was
Why?
purely
That's right.
sexual.
Yeah.
So there, that benefit of abstinence is there because it removes that possibility. You can see them hopefully for who they are without having to wait until the love goggles fall off.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. All right. Corey, I see you I see your wheels turning. What you got, ma'am?
I agree.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and we discussed this before. There's no pressure. There's no pressure. I can almost. I'm not gonna say that. That doesn't sound good. If I know that you are also abstinent, I can believe what you're telling me more readily.
Hmm.
Mm.
I don't have to assume that you're saying these things because you're trying to get somewhere.
Hmm.
Because you're not. You don't want to
Benefit.
go there. So,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
you know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean?
Mm-hmm.
Also, I think that I think you said this, there's a deeper connection with the person. There's a deeper connection. And to me, in my experience, it's a deeper connection faster.
Hmm.
Um, because you actually have to talk to the person. Are they
Yes.
smart as
Mhm.
you? Do I like them?
Right.
Do
Yes.
I actually? Because
Right.
people don't really realize sometimes you're in a relationship with people you really don't like.
Right.
Yeah.
How did I get here?
Right.
Yeah.
You spend a
Yeah.
whole lot of time looking back over your relationships, being like,
Right. Like
What in
what
the
did
world? What's
why?
who is that?
right? And they've been the same person all along.
Yep.
Mhm. Mhm.
No
Mhm.
cloud
Yep.
of
I
judgment.
like that. I like that. The when you said that, Corey, the word trust just popped up in my head. Like
Hmm.
it puts me in a position where I can learn to trust exactly who you are without all the other stuff, and you can learn to trust who I am
Yep.
because the brother is fine, or the sister is fine, and and you're
Hmm.
right. When we add the component of sex to a relationship, it changes the dynamics of it. It changes the dynamics. And let's say, because it's such a wonderful thing, because we're not shame basing something that was created to be
Right.
wonderful,
Right.
because it's such a wonderful thing to go into that with someone that you have an understanding of, and you just not guessing. Because as a woman, um, you know, it's already the fact that we're just trying to see where we are. We're just trying to, because we tend to be a little bit more vocal than men tend to be in certain aspects. So for a woman trying to position and see where you are and where this man actually feels for you without adding that, that's that's another level. It really, really is. It's another level. It's another level. So let's talk about, though, mature adults, because this is real. We talking about all of it. I'm not gonna sit up here and lie and say I've ever abstained on purpose. I can't. I'm not. And my mother was the greatest teacher. But decisions were made based off of, the things we chose. We chose to do. Um, but I have to say, thankfully and gratefully, it's never been a situation where it was just something that happened and me and the person just like, well, who is that? And who is that? You know, it's that part of it, making a choice as an adult, at least knowing that I know who this person is, and it's not, people trip off of when Steve Harvey said, what was it, a 30-day rule women should
90
have?
days.
90
90
days.
days.
90
It
90
was
days.
days?
90. It was 90 days.
90 days.
90
Yeah.
days? And people tripped off of that, and I would see men, typing or saying in conversation, like, "Oh, so you gonna put a date on it? You gonna put a date stamp on it? Like, how you gonna have this, this and that? And so now I should do it this way if you gonna do it that way." And if you really dug deep into what that meant, thank you. What if you really dug deep into what that meant? It's not about counting the days.
Mhm.
When you go on a job, how long is your probationary period
90
typically?
days.
90 days.
90-day probation.
90 days. I'm gonna tell y'all, when I hired teachers, when I hired different people for the daycare, I just did 4 interviews. This past week, I interviewed 4 potentials. Praise God. That means all the kids are coming. But we interviewed 4 potentials, and I told them, I said, I only do a 30-day probationary period. I don't do 90 days. I don't do 60 days. Because honestly, in 30 days, based off your resume, this should be a good fit.
Right.
This should be a good fit. I'm not gonna waste your time or mine. There's one thing for people to learn the process. I
Right.
get that. But there's some core things I think you can see before 90 days. So
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 what if we start talking about, talk about the benefits? What's the
yeah.
benefit in being in an exclusive relationship? What's the benefits of having sex? And what's the benefits of abstaining from sex.
Mm-hmm.
Let's
Mm-hmm.
get some real talk out there, because we're kind of beating around the bush, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Mm-hmm.
And some people are going to say, "Oh, I can't do it." Some people are going to say, "I've done it." Some people are going to
Yeah.
say, "This is why it works. This is why it doesn't work."
Mm-hmm.
And then we can go. Then we can get some back and forth as to, because I know one of the guys, Kevin, says, "No, that's not for me.
Yeah.
That's not for me."
Yeah. I was waiting to bring Kevin's comment up. I didn't want to just jump in the middle of
Right.
a statement. I wanted to bring Kevin's comment up because we're looking at this thing both ways. We're
Hmm.
not trying to say you should make a decision based off of what someone else may think.
Right.
As a
Right.
mature adult, you have to make that decision for yourself and for your reasons. Let's see. Kevin put up two statements. Let's see. Um I'm gonna put this one up. That's the first one I saw. Can you see that, Corey? I'm on my own
I'm
tonight. Okay,
trying
I got the
because
glasses.
I'm
You
going into
got
the chat. Hold on a second. Kev. Okay, yes. He said, oh man, okay. He said a no for me. At any age, it's tough with this hump on my back looking like a camel. I respect those who can endure abstinence, but being over 50, I just can't.
it? Okay, okay, and that's real. That's real. He said being over 50, he just cannot. I'm sure there's some that's saying being over 25, they just cannot.
So again, I'm not pushing my agenda, but I was over 50. I was over 50 when I met Paula.
Hmm.
I was over
Okay.
50.
Yeah. Well, me and my wife, we abstained before we got married. We dated for a year. We did abstain for the year before we got married. So we did do that. However,
Okay.
I'm not sitting here saying that, I'm the abstinence guy. I don't, I
Right.
feel like
Right.
people have to make decisions and be well informed about who they are and understand who they are and where they are in their journey. And I know I'm an elder at a church and I'm saying this, but I really feel like you have to be well informed about who you are, where you stand regarding your sexuality and what works for you. And in your if we're going to go to God and your relationship with God and
Yeah.
figure
Yeah.
out, how you want to move. So I know that out here in these streets, that there are a lot of diseases that are trying to take hold to you
Hmm.
at whatever age. It doesn't matter. They don't care what age you are. And there are a lot
Hmm.
of people who don't like to use protection out in these streets
Hmm.
as well.
Hmm.
So I will put that out there as one of the reasons why abstinence is good from the sheer preservation of life standpoint, because you just don't know what you don't know. And
Hmm.
so keeping away from it prevents you from finding out what you don't know.
What you don't know, what you don't know. I love that there's a point here to be said, and we all are coming from this point. Um for those who, without even speaking, those who are single, without even speaking, because that's your business. We're not gonna speak what we're choosing or not, unless you choose to put that in the chat or say that. But the fact that um Josh and Tony both said, Tony, how old are you?
I'm actually 65 years old.
You lying.
All right.
Wow. Dang, Josh, how old are you? Oh, I
50.
know. Josh just
I'm
had a
50.
Josh
birthday.
is
Just had
50.
a birthday, big 50.
Big 50. So what I was gonna say, and I'm 53. Um, I think it's very clear that we all had sex before marriage.
Yes.
That's fair to
Yes.
say, right?
Yes.
Yes.
We all had sex before marriage. Corey, I'm not leaving you out. I'm coming to you. We've all we've all had sex before marriage. And again, I'm not going to speak my preference because I am single. And that's a conversation between me and him. Um, but Tony and Josh are married. Remember we said they came from a place of having sex before marriage. And then they made the decision to abstain. And now the marriages that they're in now, they feel they're in happier, healthier places. Is that fair to say?
That's fair to say.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Okay. So where I'm going with that is, again, your decision, your choice. But we're talking about healthy. And healthy could be being in a sexual relationship for you with the person that you're with and you're not married. Because based on what the two of you have decided, the maturity levels, but I'm doing a comparison real quick. How life was before making the choice, Joshua, to
Oh
abstain.
God.
You see where I'm going?
The way you said, "Oh God."
Tony, how life was before making the decision to abstain. If y'all want to share, either one of y'all can share.
So
I'm gonna let Tony share. He got it. I'm gonna let him take care of that.
so I believe this is real talk, right? That's what
Yep.
this is about.
Yep.
Now I'm going to share. I'm going to be what we call hot, honest, open, and transparent.
Hmm.
I'll probably get slapped by Paula for saying this, but I'm just going to be honest because you got to be real, okay?
Hmm.
And I've been married twice before. First time 7 years, second time 15 years,
Mm.
18 years with the woman. And trust me, I have no ill feelings against them. And
Right.
what I'm about to say is please nobody share this with anybody because I'm not here to shame anybody, okay?
Yeah.
But I've been married for going on 13 years with Paula. Had more sex in those years of marriage than I had total with my other two.
Woo.
Wow.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
again, there's benefits, there's pros, and there's cons. But
Mm-hmm.
for me, um, I don't. I got to the point where when I had sex for the first time with my wife Paula, there was no in my mind there was no comparison.
Mm.
Mm.
I've been married twice before, and I had sex with other women before that. But
Hmm.
in my mind, when I'm not comparing.
Right.
Okay, so one thing I will say is this: you can have all the sex you want, but I'll guarantee you are going to compare. You're going to compare
Hmm.
who's
Mm.
better and who isn't. And most men are not going to want to be with a woman that doesn't meet that that standard of whatever healthy, wonderful, mind-blowing sex is.
Yeah. For them. Yeah.
But
That
I
makes
don't have that. I don't have that going through my mind when I'm having sex with my wife.
Hmm.
right.
Hmm.
So to me, that's one of the biggest benefits.
Hmm. Hmm.
My
Yep.
mind is clear.
Yeah. Yeah. Crystal said, I will not die just because you don't get or have sex. Some much deeper conversation stops from being had because you don't want to talk yourself out of the potential sex. Yeah.
Mm.
Yep.
That's
Yep.
deep.
That ties into what Corey said a few minutes ago.
Yeah.
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 Without all of that, I'm more clear. Like, is this brother coming around just because it's good? Or is he coming around because I'm good? Just like, you know what I mean? Is
Right.
yeah, yeah. How does that work? How does that lay out? Corey, what's your thoughts?
I also think that abstinence allows you to form a bond, a friendship. You're not always going to you're not always going to get along with the person that you're with.
Yes.
You have two completely different persons with
Yes.
different life experience. Even if they were
Yeah.
similar, they're not the same people coming together, forming new habits and things like that. When you're abstinent, I think it gives you a deeper insight into the person. I think it's a different type of intimacy.
Mm,
I think it's a different type of intimacy, and that itch can't be scratched with sex. And
Mm-hmm.
let's be honest, the sex might not be good. It might take you a couple times to learn the person and they learn you and you learn them. But if you care about the person and you've built that bond and that soul tie before you have sex, because people talk about soul ties after, but there's something that happened before you have sex. You're willing to try. You want to make the person happy. You want to get the sex where the relationship is. And I
Right.
think that's one of the other benefits of abstinence.
Well, I
I
mean, if
got.
you
I'm
think
sorry.
about
I
it,
got to put this up. I got.
Oh Lord.
David said, "I will die
well,
without getting
hey,
it."
you know what?
I believe him.
Can I can I say something on the flip side of that?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay. To Avery Mack, I do want to say that because you want to have sex, let's say you're active, sex does boost those endorphins. It helps you
Yes,
physically become a bit more it's actually a workout. It's really healthy, it's good for your heart, all of that stuff. Sex is very good. Let's be real. God made sex. He was not playing. He
yeah.
always
Let's
He was
designed
talk
not
about
you
playing
it.
with it.
in a
No.
specific area. There are big benefits, huge
Absolutely.
benefits to sex.
Yeah.
Huge.
And so,
So
and
what is the benefit?
I'm
What,
probably going to
I
come
want to hear
across
a
as the
benefit.
guy that's
I'm
talking
sorry.
about. I'm
I'm
sorry.
sorry. I didn't. Both of you gentlemen were talking at the same time.
Well, go
What were
ahead,
you saying?
Tony. Go ahead, Tony.
No, no, go ahead. I just want to hear a benefit. I want to hear someone because I'm gonna listen and feel it. What is the benefit of you having sex in an exclusive relationship? What is the big benefit?
Oh, I just said
No, no,
there's
no, 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 no,
there's that.
not outside of the physical act. I want to know how does that make your relationship better than any other relationship you've ever had that you've had sex with when you've had sex with somebody?
You're
Or
talking about
how does
sex
that
by
make you
itself. Are
how
you
does that make
saying?
you become more committed to a person? How does that just give me something other than the general, yeah, it feels good, it's wonderful.
So,
It,
are you talking about sex itself? How does it tie you to someone? Is that what you're saying?
I'm just
Are you?
saying I'm just saying for the people that are not pro abstinence, what benefit do you get besides the physical act?
I
How
see.
does it make
Um,
you, well, how does it bring you more intimacy? How does it give you more knowledge? How does it keep your relationship stronger, longer?
Mm-hmm.
Something. Give me something.
Yeah. I see what you're saying. I
And
see what you're
I'm not
saying.
trying to be funny. I just want to
Yeah.
hear because I hear all of what doesn't work, but I never hear
What does
what
work?
the benefit is, what works.
What does work? So there are people who have made a decision that marriage is not for them,
Right.
right? So they're in relationships and they're
In committed relationships.
committed. Thank you. They're in committed relationships and it's working for them. And it's working for them. Cuz like we said, we're not here to say what's right or what's wrong. That's an individual decision.
Exactly.
That's an individual decision.
Yeah.
It's an
If
individual.
you were in a committed relationship with someone and you weren't going to get married, then
You
unless you plan on being abstinent for the rest of your life, and
that is
you're
it.
in this committed relationship, then you are probably going to at some point in time have sex with the person that you're in the committed relationship with.
Right.
And in that committed relationship, because you're not getting married, you're going to operate as two committed people in love with each other. Because
Mhm.
when you're in love, usually you have sex with one another over time if you're married. And these
Right.
people are deciding not to get married, so they're going to have the stronger bond that comes with it, the connection, the knowing of each other, the learning of that person's what makes that person happy in the sexual act, the learning of the things that make you happy in the sexual act. That it creates a higher level of intimacy. We know that we just we talk about it within marriage, but sex does create a high level of intimacy. I think that's something that Corey was saying. It creates a higher level of intimacy. It is the only time that two human beings are actually one person, because when you are engaged in the act of sex, you are one human being. You're tied, connected together. So there is no other time where you can be physically connected with a person outside of being engaged in the act of sexual intercourse. So there is a connectedness, not just on the spiritual level, but on the physical level, that you cannot achieve in any other way.
Any other way. That's right. Right. So the word commitment, being committed. Excuse me, I'm sorry. Being committed. Myra said it can create a stronger bond. It involves higher levels of trust as well.
Yeah.
Higher levels of trust. Ooh. Ooh. So this little thing, this little 3-letter word is big. It is big. It is big. We were chatting a little bit earlier. We always do that. So we talked about that word, sex, right? Um, and we talked about sexual activity specifically, because some people can say, "Well, that's not sex. We didn't. That's not having sex. That's not." So we wanted to break down some of the things that are considered sexual activity. So let's do that in the chat or on the panel. One thing that's considered to you as sexual activity, actually sexual activity.
I did not have sex with that woman.
Well, what did you do?
I think the president had, I think it was assumed that he had oral sex.
Excuse me.
He had oral
Did
sex.
he? But did he though?
Did he?
Technically, based on what he said, he was just standing there.
He was just standing there. He
was
didn't
just
do
standing
anything
there.
wrong. There's
He had
absolutely
oral
nothing.
sex.
He just
had
was
oral
standing
sex.
He
there,
was just standing there.
and lo and behold, some stuff happened. And
because some people define it as, unless you have actual intercourse,
right,
I'm not having sex. That's
right.
that's not sex.
And some people use that as a means of saying they didn't cheat on their spouse because they didn't have
Ooh.
sexual intercourse.
But aside,
So
aside from that, if I don't penetrate you, then I don't have the oneness.
correct.
So my argument would be, if I don't have the oneness, then it's not sex.
Right. So that that leaves it open to interpretation, though, right?
It leaves
Absolutely
it open
not.
to interpretation.
Here's how we interpret that. If my significant other were to say, "Hey, I mean, we didn't have sex, but we spoke to each other's parts," I'm gonna punch you in your mouth. No, I'm not gonna punch you in your mouth. But that's cheating. That's cheating. But
Right.
that, you know what I'm saying? Like, people can say that until it happens to them.
Until
Right.
it happens.
They
Right.
it's cheating.
Yeah.
Right.
But yeah.
Because if you reverse the situation, the question is, if you reverse the situation, like let's say it happened, okay, I'm gonna go let somebody do what you got done to you. How you gonna feel about that? And if you feel no ways about it, then it's not cheating. But if you gonna feel some type of way, then, and most of the time you're gonna feel some type of way.
So aside from cheating, you all.
Because we getting something else.
Yeah, we're not talking about cheating. We're talking about.
We're not talking about cheating. We're not talking about cheating.
So fellatio, right? That's what we're talking about?
Fellatio.
We're talking about sexual activity being defined by the individual.
Okay.
By the individual. So if someone says,
biblically speaking, Adam knew Eve, what kind of sex were they having?
One more time.
Whatever
I missed
sex
it.
they wanted.
Huh?
I missed the question.
He said when Adam knew Eve, what kind of sex were they having?
Adam knew Eve, what was implied? I mean, it doesn't state what it is, but what did they do? What kind of sex did they have? They had sex. Were they?
It implies
whatever they
from our
fingering
perspective,
each other? Were they?
But we don't know.
We don't.
Come
we
on,
don't.
man.
It's
on.
implied. Intercourse is implied.
Come on.
Intercourse is implied. No, I get that, Tony.
Yes.
Intercourse is implied.
Yes.
That's
I
why
agree.
we're talking about what that looks like for different people.
Right.
For
So
different people.
Crystal said initially, if you're manipulating or interacting with someone's sex organs, then
In her opinion.
Oh, wait.
in her
Did I
opinion,
get the
that's
wrong
sex.
one? That was the wrong comment.
Yeah, that was the
She
first.
did
The
too.
first one. She
That was
said,
her.
"Yeah,
Yeah, the first one and then the second one. But how about if I said,
Oh, wait. I'm sorry. Let's get okay. Go ahead. Okay.
if my verbal game is that good, you're gonna feel like you're having sex with me.
Oh.
Trust me.
It's possible.
Trust me.
Oh.
Okay.
It is.
Or if my hands
Mm.
work that good,
Mm-hmm.
I could touch you anywhere on your body.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna have an orgasm. Is
Mhm.
that sex?
Is that sex?
Is that sex?
That's what we're talking about when we're talking about intimacy outside of intercourse. The benefits, that's the kind of benefits I want to hear from the other side. My benefits are I can touch my wife and she jumps out of her chair, but we're not having sex.
Mhm.
Right.
Or are we having sex?
Oh, yeah. Right.
Well, that implies intimacy that's not necessarily associated with sexual intercourse or sex itself. Like there are levels of intimacy, right?
Right.
And
So
that
could be a
goes
benefit.
back to
That could be a
that
benefit.
goes back to the original conversation regarding abstinence, right? There you have the opportunity, whether you're abstinent or not, to develop levels of intimacy beyond just the act of sex.
Right.
And it behooves us when we're in relationships to continue the process of getting to know each other so that there can never be anyone that person can be with that can give them what you're able to give them when it comes to intimacy.
Yeah.
You will
Yeah.
never be more
Because
intimate with anybody else on earth than you are with me, because I know you from crown to soul.
Right.
And I
So,
know how you tick
Ooh.
and what makes you tick.
so
Crown
Joshua,
to
I think
soul.
that's what everybody here and that's going to hear you say that, that's what they want. Whether it leads to marriage or it's just exclusive, I think everyone would agree ultimately that's what they want. So then how do you get there?
Can I say one more thing? Avery said something else. In my opinion, sometimes sex starts in my mind. I keep saying
I
this.
was
This group
gonna
called
bring that.
this group called Dead Prez. They have this song called Mind Sex. It is the best song, Mind Sex. We don't have to take our clothes off yet. And he's talking about how I want to get into your mind and get your mind in a certain way that we don't have to get the sex yet. And let me tell you something. That's where it starts. Intimacy, sex, it starts in the mind. Think about it. How many people are addicted to pornography? They're not having sex with the TV screen.
Nope.
Right.
But they watch it and they feel a way. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So yeah, it starts in the mind. It's all
Absolutely.
starts in the mind.
Mhm.
I agree.
Hold on, let me go back up. That's gonna be...
Where are you? Where are you? We call that area male and
Okay,
female
well, you
sexual
know what?
organs. To stimulate those organs
Hey, I got a
considered
shout
a
out. I got a
sexual
shout
act.
out to Anthony, man.
Yeah.
Hey, Anthony.
What's going
Yes.
on?
Long time, man.
Mhm. So benefits. We've been hitting a lot of benefits. So you know where we are. We at real life relationship growth, right? We want to talk about those benefits. But detriment is in our topic title.
Mm-hmm.
benefits or detriment? Detriment
Soul
is an
ties. You know, Corey said it earlier. She said soul ties. Being locked into a person. I think I read somewhere where when you have sexual relationships, the DNA of another person can remain in the woman for a certain amount of time. And don't quote me. I could be remembering wrong, but I remember it saying that it stays in a woman for a certain amount of time. And I also read somewhere that it takes about 7 years to get over a relationship. That was something that I read recently as well. It takes like 7 years to get over a relationship. And sex only exacerbates that. It only makes it longer because you have this intimate connection. Like imagine you're with this guy and he's made it his purpose to be the best, to focus all his energy and efforts on making you never get over him. And then y'all break up and you crave him, or the vice versa. You have this woman who's been putting it on you for the last year and a half or the last 10 years off and on. And then y'all separate and you're craving because she does things that nobody else has done, or nobody else that, even if you've been involved in other relationships, that nobody else has done. So it does sometimes create these connections to people that we have to go through therapy or just a long period of time to overcome. And it also can cause you to make decisions that go contrary to common sense. So because sex can manipulate the way that you value that individual, because again, it's tied to your pleasure center. You know that you receive a certain amount of pleasure when you're engaged in these activities with that person, and you kind of walk on eggshells because you don't want to lose that dopamine that comes from that connected relationship with that individual. So those are all detrimental, in my opinion.
And
What you
I
got,
also
Corey?
want to say, to your point, we know this. Everyone knows this.
Yes.
We don't want to be realistic, but let me tell you how we know this. I'll bust the windows out your car after I saw you laying next to her. Okay, that's one example. I'll buy your clothes. I'll pay your rent. I'll cook your dinner too. Soon as I get
Come
home
on.
from work.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
these are songs. People write songs about a soul tie. They're not calling it a soul tie, but this person, you have that kind of whip appeal on me.
Yes.
Listen, I
Yes.
was listening to music on the way down here. It's a lot of good music, but they're talking about soul ties.
Absolutely.
This person makes me want to do all of these things. You ever heard? There was a song when she said, "If I could, I wear your clothes and pretend it's you and lose control." We are. I've heard, I didn't hear about this for a long time, but there was this woman online that talked about how when her man was coming home, like he had cheated on her at some point, and he had come home and she would smell him. And she could smell if he wasn't smelling like just him. There is a connection there that is crazy, which is why some people stay too long and end up in jail or do all types of other weird things. These ties are serious. That's the detriment.
Yeah.
But there's a song in Jill Scott's first album, well, like a little skit part where she was at the grocery store. Yes, that part right there.
Raheem,
same thing.
right?
Yes, Raheem, right? Right.
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 I'm a music person. I'm a music person.
And again, something so amazing and something so beautiful. When we use the word detriment, we're not saying the act. It is at all.
No.
At all. But we want to.
I think that's what goes back to the shame when we talk about the shame. So like and because we've been through all of these different things that go along with sex and sexual intercourse and sexual intimacy, we want to shut it down the same way that you shut down a child when they're touching the stove, right? You like tell them the stove is hot, don't touch it. You don't give them all of the intricacies and the nuances as to why you shouldn't. You just tell them that stove over there is hot and I'm trying to prevent you from getting burned. And so we kind of do that when it comes to sex with our children with the whole abstinence thing. And I'm just kind of tying it back to that because we know why, because we're on the other side of it, and we don't want them to have to experience the things that we've been through. So we think if we simplify it for them, then it makes it easier to digest so that they won't have to go through it. But our parents did the same thing to us, and we still ended up on the other side dealing with all of these different issues that came along with it. So there has to be another way, a bridge, a way that both allows us to be more explicative about the process, but also at the same time help them to understand the negatives as well as the positives in the right confines, right? Does that make sense?
Yep. Yep.
Because sex is positive in marriage.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're not getting married and you decided that you found the life partner that you want to be with for the remainder of your days, then sex is positive in that life relationship.
In that relationship. Exactly. 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 It's when we use anything in a careless manner,
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
when we do that, it doesn't benefit us. Because when you're careless with something, you're not thinking through. You're not looking at the big picture. You're not looking at the after. You're looking at the right now. So I'm just gonna handle this any type of way.
Right.
Any type of way. And of course, we have to come to the point somewhere in our discussion when we talk about being careless with oneself.
Mm.
Being careless with oneself. Oh, Corey. Hi.
Go ahead, ring the bell.
Counseling. Y'all know. Kev, where's Kev? Kev, we got the mail, brother. Miss Corey took care of us. For those of you all who know, anytime we get to the point of saying counseling, I would be like, ding, ding, ding. My
Counseling.
girl was like, you got a package coming. Look
Need a
out for
bell,
it.
need a bell.
So thank you so much, sis. I really appreciate it. I
Not a
really appreciate it.
problem.
But when you're careless with yourself, when you're careless with, and we're not talking about making a decision to abstain or not. What I'm talking about is the mindset of where the detriment is the part that you have to deal with because you're in a place where you're not loving yourself for whatever reason. We all have different things that we
Mm.
dealt with, different situations in life that make us think the way we do. And sometimes it requires sitting on somebody's couch and
Mm.
talking to somebody trusted to help you understand why you make the decisions for yourself that you do. That you do. Benefits and detriment, sexual abstinence. Whew. What up, Tony? You got anything else? You got something else? We tipped on a few things.
So I was actually going to end with this, but I'm going to share this. Okay. You hear,
No, you don't have to end just yet. Go
oh,
ahead.
I'll save it. I'll save it. No,
Okay.
I'll just say it because I'd like to bring it up. Okay.
Okay. So we'll hold on to
I
it.
don't understand it. If you believe this, that's fine. I'm cool. No judgment. All right. But if a man says, I'm not buying anything without test driving it,
Baby.
to me that don't make no sense. And
Absolutely not.
I'll tell you why it don't make no sense.
Preach.
If I ask that same man what his ultimate dream car was, and then I took that car and said to him, I'm going to give you this car, but you can't test drive it. Do you think he's going to reject that car? Well, your woman has more value than a car, than all the money in the world, and you sitting there and you want a woman to believe that you have to test drive her to know if you're compatible with her sexually, and that's your basis for having sex outside of an exclusive relationship. I call foul.
Yeah,
I throw the flag,
absolutely.
man. I'm throwing the
Yeah.
flag on that because
I'm with you.
that don't make
Yeah.
no sense.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
And for the brothers that want to call me a simp, be my guest.
Oh
But
God.
you cats came up with that word anyway, so I don't acknowledge it. It
Yeah.
makes no sense to me.
Yeah.
And if a person is not worth more than a car, I don't care how expensive the car is. If a person is not more expensive, is not worth more than a car, come on. I got a
Yeah.
problem with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man or
Yeah.
woman, because I've heard women say it
Yeah,
too.
man or woman. Yeah, there are women that say it as well. But again, to me, that thought process just goes back to what I was just saying. Your your value,
Right.
your value. You have to look at that before anything else. And yeah, I've heard it before. People say that, I don't know what is. I'm not married. I'm not gonna even be with that person until I know what it's like. What does that say? Like, just literally listen to that. I'm not even gonna be with you until I know what you like sexually. So, what if it's not that good? What does that mean? That means you're just plainly looking at me for one direction and one thing.
Well,
You're looking for
What
one.
what it means is you don't know how to drive that car.
Absolutely. I
That's
was
what it
just gonna
means.
say
Mm.
that.
That's what it
That's
means.
what it means.
You don't
You
know how
Yep.
to
driving a
drive
if
that
you
car
driving
that you
yeah, you
want.
driving a Bentley based on how you used to run the Toyota. Two different cars. These are two
Mm.
different
They
vehicles.
are two different cars.
And you're gonna have to learn how to drive each. If you learn the person and you learn their body, you're gonna
Whew.
drive that thing better than anybody
Oh
else.
yeah.
You're taking
Benefits.
long
There
road
you
trips,
go.
okay?
There
Okay.
you go.
Um,
It
Amen to
comes
that.
back
I'm
to it.
loving this
There you go.
analogy. I'm loving it because I'm thinking about it from the standpoint I've been kind of like learning how to fly a plane, and different planes have different instrumentations,
Mm.
Mm.
and you have to be licensed to fly based on your instrument rating, right? Because some people just ain't smart enough to fly certain planes. They hadn't had enough education and training. Because there's a difference between dealing with the
Amen.
basic and
Yes.
dealing with the advanced.
And
So
they
I'm
Mm.
just
hey,
thinking about this analogy
yes.
from that standpoint, because when you're dealing with something advanced, it requires a lot more time to get that thing in the air, if you know what I
All
mean.
right.
That's
'Cause
right.
you got to
That's
turn
right.
different knobs and flip
Ah,
different
ah,
switches in
ah,
order to get the
Yes.
engine going,
ah.
and you got a whole different airspeed that you have to get up
Yes.
to before that thing take off of the ground. But once you get it up,
Yeah.
once it's in the air,
It's all the way up.
it's flying over that other one that was simple,
Yes.
and it's flying faster than the other one that was
And
simple too,
higher.
and
Higher.
That's
higher
right.
than
And
the other one that
higher.
was simple.
That's
But it
right.
requires more time and attention. There's a lot more nuance to the process in
And
order to
it's
get that thing to take off.
taking it
So
off
I like his analogy. I'm just taking it
yeah,
to
and
a
staying up
different
there
thing
and staying
because
up
I
there in
can
the
see
cloud.
myself sitting in the engine and taking a hold to the not the steering wheel, but the controls for the
Throttle.
plane, and I can see
Throttle, man.
this switch I need to turn on, and I know what that switch do because I've been
Yeah.
studying.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Before I ever flew it,
Mess
I've
with
been
that
Ah,
switch.
studying
ah, ah,
that
ah.
plane, the instrumentation for that plane. I was studying it. I hadn't flown it yet. I was studying. You know what I'm saying? I was
Corey
studying. I
came
had
out with the
what does
gun.
that do? Oh, I know what that does. Okay. If I flip that, it's gonna do
Oh,
oh.
yes,
The
sir.
afterburners are right there. That's the afterburners. I touch that button. That's simple. That's the
Yes,
afterburner,
sir.
baby. If I touch that button, the afterburners, I'm gonna keep
Woo.
touching that button right there. I promise you, I'm gonna touch
Yes.
that button. But I gotta get you to the air first. I gotta get you up there. I
Get
gotta
you
get you
up
up there so I can
first.
use the afterburners. I can't use them while we on the ground.
Oh, I
So
can't.
I'm just saying. That's my little.
Yes. Yes. And
And then
then
down.
I have to add
You gotta bring
I
it
gotta
down.
say this. I
You gotta bring
gotta
it
say
down
this.
safely too.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
And
do have
even
to
when
bring
it's
it
up
down safely.
Can't just leave her up there, boy.
You can't just leave it up there. You got to bring it. You got to bring it to a safe landing. Absolutely, absolutely.
yes.
Tony, I see you. I see
And
you,
we
brother.
need, and she requires maintenance. I mean, the
She
plane
does
requires
require
maintenance.
She does require maintenance. She does require
And
maintenance.
when there's a little bit of turbulence when you up there, you still gonna take the time to soothe that out. You're gonna get through that turbulence.
Yeah, you're gonna get through it.
You don't just
You
give
gonna
up.
get through that turbulence.
It might be a little bumpy. But
Yeah, it might be a little bumpy.
It might be a little it might be a little bumpy. But you're gonna get through that turbulence. Yes, you are. I promise you. You're gonna enjoy. You know what? I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna stop. We're gonna keep it. We're gonna keep it safe and sanctified. That's what.
Yes. No, we not. We good.
I'm talking about a friendly sky. Somebody give me a hug.
Right. Right, Corey.
Come fly the friendly skies.
When you flew Delta, how they used to give you the little wings when you were getting out there.
Yes, you gotta get your wings, man.
Anywhere. We're not like Southwest. You can just sit anywhere.
Yeah.
You got assigned seats, man.
Oh man,
I like that. Assigned seats.
Yes.
You committed to that seat. That seat is yours.
That is your
Nobody else is boarding. Nobody else has.
And nobody's flying that plane.
Nobody's flying that plane. Nobody else flying that plane.
Nobody.
Pilot.
Every said, I'll never look at a plane the same again. Josh got people booking flights, ain't got no money.
Where you going? I don't know. I just gotta get on the plane.
Oh no, I just gotta fly.
I'm jumping on Josh's plane.
Mercy.
I don't know what the destination is, but Josh said
we need to get on the plane.
Everybody wants to know what them knobs are, boy.
Hey, they want to know. They want to know.
Mm-hmm. I love
it.
Get your own plane. Get your own plane.
Get your own plane.
Look, if y'all didn't know, if y'all didn't get it, we're talking about the benefits of sexual abstinence. We're talking about the benefits of it.
Got it with that plane analogy.
Yeah. We're about to land right there.
Oh, can I say something, please?
Sure, yes. Most definitely.
Right. Now, I enjoyed our talk about transport. I think it's a great conversation. But I need to threaten some of these people out here, and I mean it. I'm saying it with my whole chest. There was a pastor, and I'm talking to the pastor, and I hope I'm gonna tell his friend to have him watch it because I don't really want to talk to him right now. When you tell your parishioners that oral sex is wrong within marriage, nah.
Take me.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And I'm not married. But how you gonna tell somebody else what to do in their household? Additionally, I thought this was an isolated incident. Apparently not. Another pastor, a week ago, I saw his post where he said, and this is where we're going to bring it full circle to shame-based teachings. And this is coming from a pulpit, from a person who's supposed to be of God, who created sex.
Is he married? Is the pastor married?
I don't know what he is. I don't know what he is. He said, oral sex is wrong. It's the worst. He said, oral sex is wrong. It's even more sinful than sex itself.
What? Sure wasn't
a Catholic priest. Dumbest thing I'd ever heard. That is shame-based. Those are the people, if they believe what he's saying, because a lot of people follow the person, not the word. Those are the people who they have sex for the sole purpose of producing children and probably repent afterwards.
Yeah. Yep. So and you're right.
If
you're right, that comes full circle.
I can't hear you, Corey.
That's why people think Christians are crazy, because of the stuff some of us repeat from the foolishness. So if this is your pastor, if you know this pastor, some of y'all heard this and were just as shocked as I was, tell them I said, get out the pulpit.
No, you have to say, you have to
get out the pulpit. Get out the pulpit.
Because that was the first time I read Hebrews 13:4. I was done after that. I didn't need anything else. Hebrews 13:4 covered everything for me. I was like, good, okay, we good. That's
You
it.
can't lead the people like that. Give it to them, Josh. What does it say?
It just says that
Undefiled.
marriage is honorable in all, and the bed undefiled, but whoremongers and adulterers God will judge. That's
Mm-hmm.
it.
Mm-hmm.
And I
Mm-hmm.
left it at that.
The marriage
Yeah.
bed undefiled. I was
And
literally having this conversation with a friend of mine before getting on here. Before getting on here, and they wanted to join the conversation but couldn't. But that was a part of that conversation. What a husband and wife chooses to do, what they choose to do in their marriage bed, is up to them.
mhm,
That's between them. If they need to know if it's right or if it's wrong,
exactly, Avery.
if they need to know if it's right or it's wrong, they need to commission the father,
Mm,
and he will let them know. And he will let them know. But woo,
that's
Honey.
what,
that's wild.
I'll tell you
God.
who it is when you get offline. I'll tell you who it is.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
So
Oh,
so
you
this
know
is
them.
this is the other point I want to make, because somebody said sexual organs, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And since Corey B brought up oral sex, uh, and yes, I'm a white boy, okay? I'm white.
We
These,
didn't know, dude. We had no idea. Couldn't
these
tell at all.
It's
Couldn't
no,
tell.
crazy.
listen, I'm not bragging. I'm not bragging. It's just fact. These are sexual organs. This
Okay.
this right here is a
Okay.
sexual organ.
Okay.
This right here, that's a
Okay.
sexual organ. I'm
Okay.
just saying.
Hey,
So
hey,
Hey.
hey,
I
hey.
lied earlier. I may have lied earlier because I may have lied earlier, but please forgive me. Please forgive me.
That's right. That's right.
If that's too much
Woo.
Mercy.
information, just cover your ears.
Mercy.
This was definitely a wonderful, another great one. Another good one for the books,
Happy
y'all.
birthday.
Another
This is
good one
awesome.
for the books. Another good one. I don't know if everybody kind of gave their closing or what they, wanted to say. If anybody has anything else to say, you definitely have a moment.
Too.
Go ahead,
Um,
Corey.
fly the friendly skies. I think that we can all take that.
Yes.
Well, most of us, 'cause, I'm waiting to fly. Somebody get me on the plane.
But let's remember what flying the friendly skies entailed. He laid it out. Don't just get out. Just don't just get out there jumping, saying I can fly. I
I
believe I
believe
can
I can
fly.
fly.
You you have to become intimate with your plane before you
Yeah,
fly.
yeah. That's right. That's right.
You
Get to
got to
know
be
your
intimate with
plane.
your plane. You got to know your plane.
Get to know your plane. We ain't saying nothing else. We ending it on that.
See, I got questions for Avery after what he just wrote. I'm like,
You
okay.
got a question for Avery?
I
Yeah,
don't.
post what he just posted.
He
You
said,
didn't post that.
if I was married, we will be an OnlyFans type of couple. Many activities, positions, amongst other things. Us is the OnlyFans part for me. Like, so can you clarify that?
Yeah, you want to
OnlyFans.
get paid. You want to get paid.
So they
Oh,
both
he got a.
OnlyFans fans, or they are the only fan?
That's what I'm trying to figure out. Like, y'all each other's
Uh, I
fans,
took it. I took it to
or
mean, he's gonna get paid for.
oh, so his
You
girl
will
got to
be
pay
a
him to
only
be
fan.
cool.
Oh, okay.
I
Avery.
mean, I could be wrong, but
I
that's
got
the
you.
way I took it.
I'm taking it like that too, Tony. We're gonna take it like that.
But then he said too much information on my part, but you
You're
know,
doing things to get
Oh,
paid.
some of that information
All right,
might
Yep,
come
Terry.
there
in
it is.
handy.
Yeah.
Yep, that's what we thought, Tony. That's what we thought.
Yep, that's it.
Some of that information might come in handy. It's a gift.
It
It's a
is a
good gift.
gift. It is
Just
a gift not to be
take
shunned.
take it for what it's worth.
Yeah.
Fly the friendly skies and do what it do, man.
Ladies,
Do
that's
what
not
it
just for the
do.
brothers. The brothers don't just need to learn the instrumentation, ladies. It's not
Lord,
just it's
it's your
not
fault,
just the
Tony.
brothers. Tony inspired me. Ladies, do your part. Do your part, ladies.
Oh
You
my.
need to learn. You need to learn the panels, the buttons, the knobs, the shifts.
That
You
means
need to learn it
communicate.
as well.
Don't try to
Study.
blow up
Mm.
the ego. Be honest. Not
That's
there.
right. That's
That was
right.
wrong.
That's right. Because it all come crashing down. Benefits, detriments. All right, y'all. Well, thank you for joining us, Facebook and YouTube. I appreciate you all being here. Tony, Joshua, my girl Corey B. This was a great discussion. Great discussion. I appreciate y'all. We shall chat later. Y'all have a good night.
Have a good
Good
Night.
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 Peace.